Good. Okay. Could you tell us briefly a bit about yourself and about your involvement in publishing?
My name is Robert Kern. I got started in publishing about a year after I graduated from Cornell. I needed a job. I'd fallen in love, and my wife-to-be wouldn't let me move in with her until I was gainfully employed. So I took a job in sales for a college textbook publisher, Prentice Hall. Did well in sales and then moved into editorial and spent about 12 years with them, and eventually ended up as one of their senior new media editors. And the last 4 or 5 years with them, I was very interested in technology and where technology could best be applied for instructors as well as students in the academic field. After Prentice Hall, I was recruited to Ventana to be their publisher and increase their publishing list, and then when Ventana was purchased by International Thompson and they got folded in, we had to transfer all of the assets over to a sister company. I had to let a lot of people go, and what I did was try to get them part-time work, and in the process created a publishing services company, and now it's been almost 15 years since I started Tips Technical Publishing, and hopefully this is where I'll retire.
Yeah. Since the advent of electronic book publishing, how have your daily activities changed?
Some changes are very small. The biggest changes are we've added to the types of services we provide. So now not only do we have print book preparation, we carry it through to ebook, so that myself and the people that work here learn about electronic publishing not only in preparation of press-ready files, but then how to convert those files to EPUB for distribution for the Nook, the Kindle, and the iPad.
What % of books that you work on do you send to the printers now?
That's a good question, and it's one that's changing. I would say up until this year, 98 to 99% of the books were still sent to press, and I think that's rapidly going to go down. What the press does is create a barrier to entry to most authors, and it's why publishers exist. Publishers have deep pockets and can finance books, and in the past, books have cost between $40,000 and $60,000 to put up just a one-color, simple 250-page novel. Now with electronic publishing, you can put out a book for between $4,000 and $6,000, so anybody can finance that themselves. So we'll see a lot more books in the next couple of years be released as ebook only. And I've actually got local authors that we're doing that with now, but still, even with those authors, most people are going at least for a print on demand or doing a short press run.
So what % of books now do you send to an ebook format?
At least half of the books that we do these days are ebook format.
And how often is there overlap?
Well, if 98% of the books are sent to print and half are sent to EPUB, that means 48% overlap.
Yeah. So what is the turnaround time for an ebook version of a book versus the print version of the book?
I like that question. You think that the answer would be it's shorter because you've done a lot of your work up front. And in reality, if all you were doing is taking the print book and releasing it as a standard ebook that had no enhancement to it, it would only take a couple extra days to go that extra step, because a lot of the work you've done for that print book, all of the formatting and tagging, can be preserved for the ebook. But now if you give me a raw manuscript and I've got to do an ebook, that's going to take days to a week, because I've got to do all of that prep work that I was already doing for the book for the ebook. I don't have to balance pages, but I still have to do all of the tagging, get rid of overrides, and set it all up. Now what's interesting is that it eventually will take even longer for the ebook than it does for the print book. What the ebook is not taking advantage of now is audio and video and interactivity and linking to external sites that can easily be supported by the ebook format. And once you start adding those enhancements in, you could spend days, months, weeks, years really developing a rich ebook product.
So with the new ease of self-publishing, many believe that publishers are unnecessary. Do you agree?
Strongly disagree.
Why not?
Publishers serve a purpose. The difference between a book that I write and you write or anybody else writes used to be that it didn't get published unless a publisher looked at it, liked it, and did peer review and found that there was a market. Now we can publish things whether there's a market or not. So if you go on Amazon, there'll be I'll call it crap. There's a lot of crap out there because there's no barrier to entry, versus a publisher's role was barrier to entry and financing the product, as well as distribution and marketing, which takes a lot of work, and a lot of authors write good books that are unsuccessful because they do not know how to market and distribute them.
So why do you think others should care, assuming that you do, about the increased use of ebooks in the publishing industry?
We should always care about where industries go. Ebooks are really turning publishing on its head for the first time in over 600 years. It's a fundamental paradigm shift to the way we distribute and consume the printed word. So psychologists should think about the difference of the mind and how the mind works with an electronic format versus a print format. Students should think about the interactivity and the additional enhancements. Everyday readers with their Kindle should think about the portability and the cost. So almost everything about publishing is in flux now with the advent of ebooks. So it's important that we know where it's going and that we push to make sure that where it goes is where we want it to go instead of where other people think that we want it to go.
So in your opinion, how have ebooks hurt or helped the publishing industry?
Well, they've eliminated barriers to entry so anybody can get anything out there. They've allowed the book to evolve to the next level. Not that many of them are yet, but the possibilities are there. I'm sure what else has changed. That's kind of it. I mean, it's a new paradigm for receiving content. Content's always been there, but now it can be more integrated and more connected with the rest of the world through the ebook.
So do you personally prefer to read a digital or a physical copy of the book, or both, and why is this your preference?
I like both. When I'm on the beach, I want a paperback where if I get suntan lotion on it, or it gets wet, or the dog chews on it, it's not destroyed. When I'm reading at work, I've got multiple screens up, and I much prefer the electronic format. When I'm doing editing, I prefer the electronic format so that I can track things and I can share it with authors all over the world. But when I'm just sitting down in an easy chair at night or at the beach, I'm still a hard copy guy.
Well, that's all I have for you. Thank you.
Thank you.